the best cheap spring and summer fragrances for 2025. What's going on, guys? My name's Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Before it's even warm out, I'm getting like literally 50 DMs of Neeb, we need spring and summer. It's still Ramadan. It's like freaking 36 degrees out there, but it's okay, your boys got your back because we're only gonna be talking about currently the best cheap fragrances in 2025. I narrowed it down to about 10 with a couple of honorable mentions. They're just, man, it's really hard to leave some of these kids behind because some of them are really good. At the very least, we can do honorable mentions. So shall we start off with that? This is the only reason that this one's an honorable mention is because it's pretty hard to find right now. It's called Vulcan Fouet by French Avenue. Hands down, the best mango fizz fragrance on the market today. Even when comparing it with some of the niche fragrances, which this one smells like, specifically God of Fire by Stefan, its quality is immaculate. It's got this carbonated mango smoothie style of vibe that dries down into something ambery and sexy. I personally believe this to be a safe blind buy and I can taste it. It's incredible. The projection of this, it's a room filler and the longevity for this is gonna last all freaking day. French Avenue's Vulcan Fouet. I've tried a lot of inspirations. Oh my God, I can actually taste it. I've tried a lot of inspirations of this fragrance, but this, hands down, is the best. And take a look at that presentation as well. You get 100 mLs of juice, if I'm not mistaken, in comparison to the original 50 mLs, which sells for around $220 to $230. You get this for around 60 bucks or less. So just an honorable mention because of the facts. Moving on into, let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Perfect. It's not an honorable mention. It's there. This one can be an honorable. All right, another honorable mention, you guys. It's called Coconut Leche. And the reason why this one is a similar reason. But listen, there are a lot of coconut fragrances out there that smell like basically lotion. And this is so different from that because it's got a vanilla cream and coconut that doesn't go in the lotion territory. It kind of does that vibe while imagine JPG. You know how they do Le Beau, I mean, if that's your speed, but Le Beau Le Parfum. That ambery tonka bean style of coconut that's sweet with that vanilla cream. I promise. I know there are a lot of coconut fragrances. There's Materie Premier. There's all these other brands that are doing inspiration. This one is completely different. It's ambery, it's coconutty, yes, but predominantly vanilla. It's not another coconut. Watch, get your hands on this and you'll see it. It's, to me, in my opinion, better than Le Beau Le Parfum. It's like a concentrated version of something like that. Also extremely unisex. So the only reason these are honorable mentions is because they're relatively hard to find right now. Where did I get it? At the conventions, man. I travel probably to 6 conventions a year and I go up to their booth and I just straight up swipe or no swiping that shit. So moving on into the actual list breakdown for today or 2025, we're gonna start, man, that's addicting stuff. It really is addicting. It's creamy, it's coconutty, it's ambery, a lot vanillic too, and extremely unisex. Moving into one of the most signature and staple fragrances that have made so many lists, not just mine, look at other reviewers. This is the currently highest concentrated version of it. It's Club de Nuit Extrait. The strongest, the longest lasting, and the most refined of them all. This is the one that ends all debate on Club de Nuit and the Aventus Insposer clones or dupes. Hands down, the best when it comes to that pineapple birch DNA. If you want the best one, it's between this, and I will give credit to the EDP. You want something a little bit more vibrant and juicy and bitter citrus, or sorry, sour citrus, than the EDP. This one, right there neck and neck with it. I still love the EDP for whatever it's worth. Wolf on Wall Street vibes, honest to God, for me personally, I'd wear it to dates, but you really do have to be a confident personality, or even to every single day. It smells like dressed up or even dressed down. I think every man should have that DNA in their collection. Moving on to another one. This is a lot softer. It's more approachable. It's got like this fabric softener with white musks that are very clean and fruity and honestly also unisex. Sorry, my cat just like moved over some boxes. It's called Azure Royal by Ahmed Al-Maghribi. And this is in a vein of fragrances that remind me of like Dior Homme cologne, not in the way that it's like sport juice, right? This one, in its musky nature. Light, diffusive, airy, but still present. A lot of hedione. It's this fluffy musked up style of DNA that's very beautiful and extremely sophisticated. This is one where it's like you want to be approachable and very inviting in that scent profile. What I personally detect is mostly pear, musks, and maybe some ambers or ambrette. Simple as that. It kind of reminds me of like Versace Dylan Purple for her with some masculine traits to it. It kind of dances in a vein of like Blue Talesman by Ex Nihilo, but its own twist. And that's why I love this one. But both fragrances that I mentioned are pretty mass appealing. I would say Blue Talesman is that high-end style of fragrance that this one I could place as Ahmed Al-Maghribi's version of Blue Talesman, if you will. And Versace Dylan Purple for her kind of dances in that vein. Try it out for yourself. It does lean a little bit more feminine than Blue Talesman itself, but that original DNA seems to be in that family, and it's a beautiful family of fragrances as well. Next one is called Xeena's Imperial Blue, and this is a beast mode version of Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. And when I say beast mode version of it, Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum is not really that strong. It gives me maybe about 7 to 8 hours tops. This one will give me about 10 to 11, maybe 12 hours tops. So it's a lot more beastly than EDP, the Bleu de Chanel, but it's not necessarily something that's going to be like exaggeratedly strong. I will say that the projection for this is immaculate for the first 2 to 4 hours, and its longevity on clothing can easily give me the entire day. No questions asked about it. Now, because of its concentration, it's about 26 to 28%, if I'm not mistaken, and the EDP for Bleu de Chanel is around 22. You're inevitably going to get a stronger and richer scent profile that's slightly going to change it because of how rich it is, obviously. If you smell sandalwood at a concentration of about 18% versus 26%, the scent profile in itself will change, and that's kind of what happens with this one. Still, it's in that fresh blue shower gel territory that does project and will garner compliments as well. It's called Xeena's Imperial Blue. On to the next one. It's called Dumont Axon Ultimate. This is back in that shower gel territory, except a lot more flirty and sexy. It does something a little bit sweeter, more aromatic, and just more crisp and less of this gel vibe, if you will. It also has this aquatic vibe to it. Reminds me a lot of Invictus Aqua. It's one of those. It's like the Rosassi Hawas, etc. Except in comparison to all of those, this is one of my favorite, if not my favorite one. There's another one by Junaid Perfumes, but it's niche. Even then, it's still 65 bucks, which is pretty good. But in this realm, for this price point, Axon Ultimate is hands down the cleanest smelling one. Yes, you can get one that might be like $5 or $8 cheaper, but trust me, the $8 increment up or increase is absolutely worth it when it comes to Dumont Axon Ultimate. I got complimented walking into a niche store rocking this fragrance. Pretty sick. But anyways, yes, that'll work, and every single day it's very, very easy to rock. So far, only 2 of these were really universal style and versatile style of fragrances. All of these other ones are pretty unique. Like Vulcan Foy, you're not gonna smell like anyone else, not yet at least. And the Coconut Leche, it's definitely got more niche territories, and it's so exciting to see like this list made in 2024 was a lot more mass appealers and just like Invictus Aqua and maybe, you know, like this 1 million style DNA. And now we're talking about niche DNAs that are perfected for like 60 bucks. The technology gets better, performances get better, accessibility gets better. It's just crazy, man, and I freaking love it. Speaking of accessibilities and affordable, expensive style of scent profiles, Maison de Arabi Marine Blue, around $60, and it smells so damn close to, where is it here? City of Stars. I've got City of Stars right here. And in fact, it's stronger. The concentration of this is increased. Ultimately, you get this proprietary blend, or what they call a captive in a lot of the Louis Vuittons, that you won't get in a lot of other fragrances, but this is by far the cleanest and the closest thing to City of Stars. And what it smells like in itself is nighttime on the beach, indicative of its color gradient. As you can see, kind of smells like a little bit of this mandarin juice with a lot of this sunscreen or sun lotion rather vibe. That's ambery, that's soft, it's got this tiare flower, and this one does project and last longer than California Dream, or sorry, City of Stars. I have so many of these, I don't even know what's what anymore. Beautiful. It puts me right on the beach boardwalk at nighttime. So if you want the ultimate finesse and refinement, City of Stars, sure, but it's also $500. If you want it so damn good and still refined and high quality, it's this one, Marine Blue. It's not getting attention. It's honestly mind-blowing, especially for what you're getting, the value in comparison to what's being sold. Moving on to the next one, this will remind you of pineapple and delicate florals, and it kind of reminds me of Lamar by Kajal. And that fragrance in itself is beautiful, but this is probably the only cheapy fragrance that dances in a similar realm. That's not like Aventus, right? And when every pineapple fragrance we have nowadays, it's like smoky, it's birchy, it's intense. This takes the back seat, calms down a little bit. It's a lot more delicate and more approachable. It gives me that same delicate, musky vibe as something like Azure Royal. So if you like those musky, softer, more floral approach to fragrances, this is exactly that. Also unisex, and surprisingly gives me a decent, I would say slightly above average in performance. Beautiful scent profile, very nice. If you have a lot of pineapple fragrances or Aventus, try and switch it up with something like this. It's easy to do that because of its price point of around 35 bucks. It's called Nusuk Al Mukhtalif, and make sure you're getting the silver one because the other color one just smells like oud and rose combination, kind of like Ombre Nomade. Moving on to the next scent profile, this is Blue Shower Gel Vibe with a lot more naturalistic grapefruit. It smells a lot more naturalistic. It's not as mainstream and versatile as something like these. A little bit more of a complex scent profile, similar to Tiger It is called Bravanzo Vestige. This one has something that's a lot more aromatic. Its projection is crazy, and its longevity is also next level. For the most part, it's gonna be grapefruit, some of that vetiver, some woods, and also those aromatics, and it'll last the entire day, as I said. In 2025, it's still definitely worthy of the cop. Bravanzo and Dumont and a lot of those fragrance brands that are in that family have zero issues in my experience with performance. Let me know down in the comment section if you've had any experience with Bravanzo, and let the people know what your experience is with specifically Dumont and Bravanzo in terms of its longevity and performance. Moving back into the next one, this is called Essence de Blanc, and this reminds me of a bar of soap with tea. Simple as that. Smells a lot like Imagination, and this is the only dupe at this price point that can actually get a natural recreation of how green and aromatic the tea is in Imagination. Yes, there are plenty that are good, okay? And you're probably getting ready to type it right now. That one's good too. Sure, I've yet to smell a bad Imagination dupe, at least in the 5 that I've covered here on this channel. Don't go and find another dupe from Timu or some shit and come say, oh, that one's good too, because Neeb says it. No, okay, the ones that I talked about on this channel. But this is the best one, period. It's the closest one. There's not another one that does the tea like Essence de Blanc. Simple as that. Last but not least, this is Sophistication. It's got this almondy style of vibe that gives it this glaze and a frothy nature to it. It kind of smells like lemon meringue pie. It's called the Arsh Extrait by French Avenue. Reminds me personally of Allure Homme Edition Blanche, but also inspired by Guerlain's Platine Blanc. And that one, or Patine Blanc, and that one is a pretty good based fragrance as well. So yes, similarities for sure. Longevity for this one is more, and projection for this one is also more. These are the fresh fragrances you need to know about in 2025. Hands down, some of the best ones. I might have missed a couple because God knows that every week it's literally like 5 or 6 that are coming out. But even through those, I've been sifting very carefully and going through a lot of these. God knows we're gonna be blessed with so many more. And if you wanna stay up to date with some of the newest releases, then you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.